Hello, BookTube. As I've mentioned a couple of times on this channel, one of the little mysteries of April for me was what the heck happened to the Steve Tiberius Donahue Book Club. We had a monthly book club, and I had announced a book that I really like. I really enjoyed rereading it. A lot of you seem to be enjoying it. And then just stopped making videos. I just stopped making videos on the subject. No idea why. I had no impulse to do it at all, and whether it's an announced book club or not, my number one rule on this channel is that if I don't want to make a video, I don't make it. The minute this starts to feel involuntary in any way, I know I'll stop, and I don't want to stop. But nevertheless, this confused me. So, for May, I am going to mothball the Steve Tiberius Donahue Book Club. I'm going to give it time to lick its wounds and regenerate just a bit. But that doesn't mean I want to stop talking about books with you. And closely aligned to a channel book club is simply a read-along. Right? Another standard BookTube thing is a read-along. So I'm going to spring out of the long grass like a tiger and unload some read-alongs on you for May. Even though we're in May, we're the 2nd of May. Now, this is Thursday. So we're going to get this read-along, this particular read-along, up and running right away for the weekend. We're going to talk on the weekend. We're going to do another read-along of the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is the written version, posthumously published, the legendarium of his world. So The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, they obviously have a long history. The characters know some of that history. Some of the characters have lived that history. They're thousands of years old. All of the characters are toiling under the shadow of history. The ring, the one ring of power that is the animating MacGuffin in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, is an ancient artifact being sought by an ancient evil being, and has interconnections with the ancient households and some ancient beings in Middle-earth going back thousands of years. So history is a very living thing in Tolkien, but this book is that history, told sometimes as history and sometimes in more accessible story-like narratives. So it's a strange mixture, I believe very much intentionally patterned on the Bible, which is the exact same way, where you will go whole books of the Bible where you're getting instructions on where to pitch your tents or how to cure your meat, and then you will get stories about adventure and adultery and blasphemy and warfare. And then you'll go back to, how exactly should you measure out your clothing and what style should you wear it on, and then back and forth. The Silmarillion is very much like that. So it's always a bit of a caution to me when people ask me if I want to recommend it. One of you just sent me this illustrated version. Very happy to have it. Found it at your Ollie's. How wonderful. Wish I had an Ollie's. I always caution people when they say, hey, you love Tolkien. There's this book, The Silmarillion. I found it for $1 at a yard sale. Should I read it? I always hesitate to say yes. I love it, but I don't think a general reader would. I think you would have to be predisposed and probably already familiar with this, or you'd wonder, what the heck is this? I've read other epic fantasies. This isn't like that at all. This is like a telephone directory to an epic fantasy. And there's some truth to that criticism. But it would help if you had a sexy read-along. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start a Silmarillion read-along for 2024. Just the month of May, that's all. Not going to take long at all. So will you join me for the Steve-marillion? Will you join me for that? This weekend, we will be talking about the first 2 parts of this book, which are very short. It's 30 pages of reading. It's the Ainulindale, which is at the very beginning of the book, and then the Valaquenta. So those 2 parts will get us going quickly, because we've just got a few days to get to the weekend. And then we will read the bulk of the book, which is the Quenta Silmarillion, the story of the Silmarils. And we'll explain what they are, and we'll go through all the stories, and we'll have fun talking about it, and it'll be a read-along. Just a read-along, not a book club, a read-along. I'm assuming that a huge number of people that watch this channel have a copy of this on the shelf. I doubt that any of you, usually with the Steve Tiberius Donahue Book Club, I would be saying, bring down the book off your shelf. I know you have it, but you probably have never touched it. Whereas I'm assuming the people who have the Silmarillion have read the Silmarillion. But we'll be reading it again. And it'll be a lot of fun. I've done this before, but a friend of mine who does YouTube for a living said, if just because you can remember that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you did a read-along of a book, doesn't mean that anybody else remembers that. And you're going to make different points anyway. I know you're not going to just say the same things. You'll say a lot of the same things, but not only the same things. You don't have to worry about repeating yourself if you want to go back and do another read-along of a book. I'm going to take him at his word. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to give me a chance to paw up this new edition that somebody sent me that's illustrated. So that's what we're doing for the Steve-marillion. We're doing a Silmarillion read-along. We're going to start this weekend with the first 2 very brief books. They will give you an immediate idea of what I'm talking about when I say that the narrative structures in here vary quite a bit, because the first 2 parts that we're reading are barely narrative at all. They are simply mythological. They are simply telling you things. They are not involving you in a story with characters, except with maybe one exception. But it's brief, and then we get to a gigantic epic, and we'll have to break that up. I don't think we can do the Quenta Silmarillion. I don't think we can do the third part of this book for next weekend. It's a lot of reading. Actually, I've got this right in my hand. How long is the Quenta Silmarillion? In this edition, the Quenta Silmarillion starts at page 23 and goes to page 253. Yeah, so we can't do that. So we'll split up the Quenta Silmarillion. We'll split up that. I guess we can read for the next weekend. We can read the Quenta Silmarillion all the way to the chapter called Of Men. And that's the halfway point. That'll be fine. We'll get through. If we overlap, if we overspill May, that's fine. So that's one read-along that I'm springing on you, is the Silmarillion. Hope you'll join me. It'll be a lot of fun. I love talking about Tolkien. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.